If you ever gotten this on any of your orders and are wondering what it is or why it's flagging that order for medium to high risk, stay tuned to find out. Before we get started, I just want to let you guys know that if you want a chance to win that 30-minute conference call with me, make sure to leave a comment down below with 80K somewhere along that comment, so that way I know that you guys are participating on that 30-minute conference call. Now let's talk about the potential fraudulent orders and what it all means. Shopify provides you with its own fraud analyzing software to help you with spotting fraudulent orders, and if you have recently had an order marked as medium or high risk, it doesn't mean it's automatically fraudulent, it's just warning you of potential risk. But let's talk about the fraud software a bit so you guys get a better understanding of what's going on. Fraud analyze indicators provide you with useful information about the transaction to help you investigate possible fraudulent orders. So when you view it, it's going to tell you more about the order, from whether or not they passed the CVV code, where the order was placed, how many attempts were made, and if they switch carts between those attempts. It's also going to tell you if the billing matches a delivery address and a lot more. So it provides you with some useful information for that transaction, and it uses those indicators to provide you with fraud recommendations. And the fraud recommendation is Shopify software assessing the indicators and telling you whether the order has low, medium, or high risk of fraud. For medium risk, give them a quick glance, look at the reason for the risk. Some orders sometimes are made in a public IP address, and that will trigger medium risk, especially if it's coming from a location with multiple chargebacks from that same IP. And then sometimes the address doesn't match, and that's okay. I used to freak out about it, but after doing this for a couple of years, I learned that it's a lot more common to ship orders to a different address, just because sometimes that person isn't home, so they're shipping it to a relative or a friend, or sometimes they're just buying the order on behalf of a relative. So don't be afraid if the order says that it's shipping somewhere else and the billing address is somewhere else. It's totally normal, it happens. It's a lot more common than you guys would think. Now for the high risk, I usually just cancel the order, and these are rare in my experience, but depending on your niche, you might see a little bit more of them. Trust me, I ignored a couple of them and placed the order, and they usually turn into chargebacks, so that's why I just stay clear away from them. So anytime I see a high risk, I just cancel the order. And keep in mind that the software will not predict or assess all chargebacks, so if your customer is neglected, for example, if you don't answer any emails and the customer tries to reach out to you, they're gonna file a chargeback, and the software has no way of detecting that. Or if a customer is malintentioned for the first time, for example, if they're going in knowing that they're going to file a chargeback, the software has no way of knowing that. Basically, the risk analyzing software is there to give you a sense of orders that may be at risk for fraud and should be investigated by you or on your end. It doesn't notify the customer, so you're the only one that sees this. It's not going to block any transaction. They're not going to hold your money. It's just telling you, hey, that this order has the potential to be fraudulent, and it's up to you to decide whether you want to fulfill it or not. I would recommend you guys reaching out to the customer if you get a medium risk and just verify the information provided is correct, which can give you an extra assurance that these customers are legitimate. And keep in mind that high risk orders can be perfectly valid, while even low risk orders are fraudulent. So there's really no way to 100% detect these fraudulent orders, but there's things you could do to help minimize the amounts of fraudulent orders you get. So that's it for this video, guys. Hopefully you learned something from it, and if you have any questions, make sure to leave them down in the comments, and make sure to leave that comment with 80K if you want a chance to win that 30-minute conference call. So that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you in the next one.